So it just shows you, doesn't it? And there's all the big fights, Tyson Fury and AJ. AJ got ironed out by Dubois properly, and Usyk just ironed out Dubois. So it's quite pointless. The only man who's been able to beat this fucker is myself, and been ripped off. So I'm not sure what's going on, but
everybody gets it wrong. You don't box this guy. It's like, I cannot explain it to you in a way you understand. You can't box him.
I don't fucking know, mate. He got 70 million quid, so I don't think Daniel's really that asked about what all us knuckleheads have got to say about him. He's got 70 million quid when he never should have earned.
Alexander Usyk is not just a name echoing through the corridors of modern boxing. He's become a living enigma. Fighters are ducking, analysts are raving, and fans can't stop watching. But why? What makes Usyk so feared, so respected, and so untouchable in a division known for raw power and knockouts? In this deep dive, we'll unpack 10 powerful expert insights that reveal the truth behind the aura of Usyk. From his jab that lands like a missile to comparisons with the great Muhammad Ali, this isn't just hype. It's a masterclass in boxing evolution. So let's break it down, quote by quote.
AJ boxed Daniel Dubois recently and got ironed out, knocked down 5 times, flattened. And then Dubois was on a great run, three big knockouts in a row, including Joshua and Kovic and Miller. And he goes in there and gets absolutely plastered, iced out by Usyk.
Tyson Fury's analysis of Daniel Dubois' trajectory highlights a crucial layer of Usyk's dominance. Dubois had just ironed out Anthony Joshua, yes, AJ, along with 2 other giants, making him look like the next big threat. But when he stepped into the ring with Usyk, it wasn't just a loss, it was a dismantling. Fury emphasizes how Usyk iced Dubois, erasing all momentum he'd built. That's not just a win, it's a psychological and physical reset of an opponent's career. It reflects a terrifying truth. No matter your power or streak, Usyk breaks your rhythm, your confidence, and your identity as a fighter. When Fury, a fighter not known for giving much credit, admits that Usyk absolutely plastered Dubois, it sends a chilling message to the entire division. This man doesn't just beat champions, he makes them look ordinary.
So it just shows you, doesn't it? And there's all the big fights, Tyson Fury and AJ. AJ got ironed out by Dubois properly, and Usyk just ironed out Dubois. So it's quite pointless. The only man who's been able to beat this fucker is myself, and been ripped off. So I'm not sure what's going on, but
Tyson Fury doesn't stop at praising Usyk's dismantling of Dubois. He escalates it by drawing a brutal contrast. Only he, Fury, could beat Usyk, and even that came with controversy. His exact tone drips with frustration and disbelief, emphasizing that Usyk isn't just undefeated in the ring, he's mentally undefeated in the sport. Fury's statement reflects how top-tier boxers gauge each other, not just by physicality, but by psychological warfare and adaptability. And Usyk's ability to shake up Fury, one of boxing's most confident minds, underscores a larger narrative. Usyk doesn't just win fights, he rewrites legacies. That's why the fear around him is so palpable. He's not someone you just go fight. You prepare for him like you're preparing for a storm you know you can't predict.
GK all day, every day. Fucking still the top dog. Still the top G. Beat him twice and I'll do it again. Wembley, here we come. 3 times. Good up.
Tyson Fury doesn't just speak, he declares. With a tone that sounds like a war cry, the Gypsy King reminds everyone that despite Usyk's back-to-back victories, he still sees himself as the alpha of the heavyweight division. This quote speaks volumes about Fury's mindset. Regardless of what the fans, the media, or the results say, he refuses to relinquish the throne, at least mentally. His insistence on a trilogy bout at Wembley shows that he believes he has unfinished business. He's been beaten, but not broken. The fire still burns. And when Fury talks about being still the top G, it's not just for the fans. It's also a message to himself, a psychological anchor keeping him grounded as he prepares for redemption. But the question remains, will Usyk give him that chance? And if he does, can Tyson rewrite his narrative? Or will Usyk complete a flawless trilogy and close the chapter once and for all?
I don't fucking know, mate. He got 70 million quid, so I don't think Daniel's really that asked about what all us knuckleheads have got to say about him. He's got 70 million quid when he never should have earned.
Now, let's pivot to Darren Till, who offers a brutal but truthful angle, money versus mindset. He points out that Daniel Dubois, despite being incredibly talented and financially successful, seems mentally checked out. But what's interesting is what this implies about Usyk. It shows that when fighters step in the ring with Usyk, they're not just dealing with a physical challenge, they're confronting a cerebral master. Dubois had the money, the fame, and the wins, yet when it came to Usyk, even Darren Till noticed there wasn't much fight left in the man. That suggests something deeper. Usyk doesn't just just wear down your body. He dismantles your will. That's what makes top fighters hesitate. They fear the invisible damage Usyk leaves behind, the psychological scar tissue.
Life, have you seen the man? He's a brilliant fighter, no, but he can't even string a sentence together, can he really? You know, so I don't think Daniel Dubois gives a fuck about what any of us say. He's got 17 million quid. I haven't even earned £1 million. So imagine how I feel looking at him earning 70 million quid and he can't even string a sentence together. I've got nothing bad to say about that, man.
Darren Till continues, and this time he doesn't hold back. He highlights a painful irony. Dubois, despite his accolades and cash, lacks articulation, clarity, and perhaps self-awareness. This isn't just personal criticism, it's an indirect compliment to Usyk. Why? Because it shows how fighters get broken by him, not just in the ring, but in how they carry themselves afterward. Dubois, once a rising star, is now seen as someone mentally scattered post-Usyk. It paints Usyk as a destroyer of egos and confidence. That's next-level domination, when your opponent is so good, so slick, and so disciplined that it reflects poorly on you just for sharing the ring with him. And that's why fear surrounds Alexander Usyk, not just because he's great, but because he redefines how we measure greatness.
Everybody gets it wrong. You don't box this guy. It's like, I cannot explain it to you in a way you understand. You can't box him.
This quote from Sunsport cuts to the core of why top fighters fear Usyk. The expert declares flatly, "You don't box this guy," and admits it's difficult to explain how good he really is. This captures the unquantifiable fear surrounding Usyk, not just in terms of physical skill, but psychological intimidation. He doesn't just outbox opponents, he outthinks them, outmaneuvers them, and breaks their rhythm completely. What makes him terrifying is that there's no simple blueprint to beat him. He's not a brawler, nor just a technician. He's something altogether different, an enigma in gloves. The fact that experienced analysts are at a loss for words to describe him shows how far beyond the norm he operates. Fighters fear what they can't understand, and with Usyk, even seasoned pros are left guessing. This fear is not irrational. It's rooted in the reality of the ring, where Usyk consistently makes elite fighters look ordinary.
Unbelievable great. Yeah, you can forget good, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great, he's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation. You understand? We have to give him the credit where it's due. Yeah? He is that guy.
Building upon the prior insight, the Sunsport experts go a step further and call Usyk the white Muhammad Ali. This comparison might seem bold, but in the context of what Usyk has achieved, it holds weight. He's undefeated, undisputed at cruiserweight, and now a unified heavyweight champion. He's climbed the mountain in 2 divisions, taking out big names with brains over brawn. Like Ali, Usyk brings footwork, finesse, and an understanding of angles that transcend brute force. He may not be as flashy with words, but in the ring, his poetry flows through movement. This quote acknowledges that we are witnessing history in motion. Fighters don't just fear Usyk's skill, they fear what a loss to him means. Losing to Usyk doesn't mean you were unlucky, it means you were outclassed. He doesn't win through lucky punches or controversial decisions, he dominates with intelligence, adaptability, and composure. The Muhammad Ali comparison cements Usyk as not just a great boxer, but a transformative one. He represents a new standard, and that's what makes him so frightening to the competition.
Alexander Usyk has not improved since he beat Daniel Dubois. But then, who did Alexander Usyk beat after beating Daniel Dubois? Tyson Fury. He beat Tyson Fury twice. He did it the first time, and then the second time, he did it even much better.
This quote perfectly embodies the frustration of many boxing analysts who are tired of the lazy narratives thrown around to discredit Alexander Usyk's rise to dominance. The claim that Usyk has not improved since beating Daniel Dubois is not only short-sighted, it's outright false when you consider what followed. He didn't just coast on his prior victories, he elevated, refined, and sharpened every weapon in his arsenal. And the receipts? Tyson Fury. Twice. Beating Tyson Fury, a man considered the greatest heavyweight of this era by many, would have been enough to silence most critics. But to beat him once and then return for a rematch and do it even more convincingly, that speaks volumes about Usyk's discipline, focus, and constant growth. It's not just about skill here, it's about mindset and preparation. The idea that he plateaued after Dubois is absurd when we have clear, undeniable evidence of his evolution. The key improvement was in his composure and ring control. Against Fury, Usyk wasn't just reacting, he was dictating. He adapted to Fury's awkwardness, his reach, his feints. He timed his combinations better, maintained distance masterfully, and never allowed Fury to bully him physically. These are the hallmarks of a fighter who studies, who learns, who upgrades with every bout. This quote dismantles the narrative of stagnation and replaces it with facts. Usyk didn't just maintain form after Dubois, he transcended it. And in doing so, he's entered the realm of all-time greats.
So to say that Alexander Usyk had not improved since Daniel Dubois was a lie, and it was just lying to the public. and that is where my issues are. And now that Usyk demolished Daniel Dubois at Wembley, Spencer Oliver is nowhere to be found.
This quote takes the previous criticism of Usyk's doubters and cranks it up with some serious heat. The speaker here isn't holding back, calling the narrative flat out dishonest, a lie to the public. And that word choice is important, not an opinion, not a mistake, a lie. This signals a deeper frustration among analysts who see certain media figures twisting the truth to push an anti-Usyk agenda or to downplay his dominance in the heavyweight division. The reference to Spencer Oliver not being found after Usyk demolished Dubois at Wembley is also very telling. Oliver had earlier downplayed Usyk's improvement or suggested it wasn't significant. But after witnessing the beating Usyk laid on Dubois, the silence was deafening. This suggests a pattern. Critics loudly question Usyk before the fight, then vanish when he proves them wrong in spectacular fashion. This isn't just about defending Usyk, it's about integrity in the sport. When boxing pundits push misleading narratives and then fail to show up and acknowledge the truth afterward, it harms the credibility of the sport's commentary. And in this case, the truth is simple. Usyk is evolving, dangerous, and far better now than he was during the Dubois fight. Furthermore, the use of demolished emphasizes the sheer dominance Usyk displayed. He didn't just outbox Dubois, he broke him. There was no debate, no controversy, no room for excuses. This section exposes how some voices in boxing media will bend narratives for clicks or agendas, but Usyk, through cold, calculated performance, keeps shutting it all down in the ring.
His jab looked exceptional on Saturday, and really that first, jab that landed on Daniel Dubois, it snapped his head back, and it was a powerful jab.
Usyk's jab has always been a key part of his weaponry, but on the night he faced Daniel Dubois, it turned into something almost surgical. As J-Bev emphasized, Usyk's jab wasn't just accurate, it was explosive and commanding. The way it snapped Dubois' head back sent a message early in the fight. Usyk was in total control, and his precision would be his power. In heavyweight boxing, jabs aren't just rangefinders. They can dictate the pace, set traps, and even end fights. Usyk's jab against Dubois did all of the above. It wasn't just a scoring tool, it disrupted Dubois' rhythm, made him second-guess his entries, and constantly reset any offensive plans he had. This showcased the Ukrainian's brilliant boxing IQ and technical refinement. This type of control, imposing your will with subtle tools like the jab, speaks volumes about how Usyk has evolved as a fighter. While some critics downplay the jab, real boxing analysts know that dominance in the heavyweight division doesn't always come from haymakers. Sometimes it comes from a piston-like jab backed by footwork, timing, and relentless discipline. Usyk's jab against Dubois not only neutralized his opponent early, but set the tone for a masterclass in control. It's no wonder that seasoned voices like J-Bev are giving that specific shot the credit it deserves. Alexander Usyk continues to show that his brilliance in the ring is undeniable. With his unique blend of skills, adaptability, and relentless drive, he's solidifying his place as one of the greats in boxing history. Critics and fighters alike may try to downplay his improvements, but the results speak for themselves. Usyk is not just a heavyweight champion. He's a fighter who continues to evolve and push the boundaries of what's possible in the ring. With his incredible footwork, powerful jab, and ability to switch styles seamlessly, he's built a legacy that's reminiscent of the great Muhammad Ali, a fighter who adapted, overcame, and dominated across generations. As Usyk faces more challenges, he remains the measuring stick for other heavyweights. He's made it clear he's not here to simply defend his titles, but to redefine what it means to be a champion. The world is watching, and every fight, like his demolition of Daniel Dubois, only strengthens his claim as the fighter of this generation. If you love the sweet science and live for heavyweight warfare, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because Boxy Hub is where the real boxing talk lives. From tactical breakdowns to brutal facts, this is the home of real fans and real fighters. Let us know in the comments, is Usyk the modern-day Muhammad Ali? And who do you think can finally crack the Usyk code? Until next time, stay sharp, stay informed, and keep your guard up only on Boxy Hub.